Hi children viewers, in previous video I explained about how we can find out the mass, volume and number of molecules of a compound in a reactions by using chemical equations. So in this video I am going to explain the reaction between acids and metals. It's very important lab activity children, so I am going to explain today. So children, up to now you didn't subscribe my channel, then subscribe my channel for latest updates and keep continue your relation with the physics and chemistry. So children, you must subscribe to my channel. Okay, so children, today's topic is what? Reaction of metals with acids and bases. So today's topic is this only. Already know, I hope you know that what's the difference between acid and base. Briefly I will explain that. Acid, base. Acid can changes the blue litmus paper to the red. How we can identify whether the solution is acid or base? To that we go for one indicator, that is what? Blue litmus paper. When you can keep blue litmus paper in an acid, that should be turns into the red color. Then that solution, what you have to say? That is an acid. Clear? And base means here that can turns the red litmus paper to the blue litmus paper. We will do activity in our class. So if we can take a blue litmus paper that should be kept in an base, then how it can turns? No change. If you can keep red litmus paper, change into the blue. Clear? Now it is the base. And acid taste should be sour and its taste should be bitter. And acid consists of H plus ions, and base ions can be having some OH minus ion. So this is the difference, very simple difference between acid and base. Acid taste to be sour and base taste to be bitter, and in case of acids that should be consist of H plus is concentration is more, and in this case of bases OH minus concentration is more. Okay children, so the litmus paper, if it is red litmus paper, is blue changes into the red in an acid. For example, so we are taking some beaker. In that beaker some solution is there. We don't know about that is acid or base. After that we are keeping some red litmus paper. If you can keep red litmus paper in particular one solution, but there is no change in its red color. Clear? No change in red color. Clear? After that, if you can keep some, after removing this, now I am keeping some blue. In that solution I kept. Then what you have to say? Blue turns into red. Now that solution is acid. That means if we can keep red litmus paper in an acid, its color does not change. If we can keep some blue litmus paper, that only turns into red color. Clear? So in this case also same thing. In case of base solution, if you can keep blue litmus paper, then there is no change in its color. We are taking some solution, in that what you have to keep some blue litmus paper. If you can dip it or if you can sink it, then there is no change in its color. But if you can keep some red, that should be turns into the blue. So in this way we can identify whether the solution is acid or base. So in our lab activities I will show clearly, don't worry. So here children, this is simply about the acid and base. Acid means that can turns the blue litmus paper into the red paper, and its taste should be sour, and that should be having some H plus ions are available in acid. And for base, it can change the red litmus paper into the blue litmus, and its taste seems to be bitter, and it should be the concentration have some more number of ions is what? OH minus. So here now we are going to the topic, children. Reaction of metal with acids. Clear? So in this case, when acid can react with the metal, then we may get salt plus hydrogen. So this is the fundamental you have to remind. Clear? What we are getting? When acid and metal both are reacts, what we get? Their salts and hydrogen gas. So in this case, in our textbook, one lab activity is there. So I will try to explain that. So here now, first we have to take one stand. The third stand is there. From that, we have to take one test tube. So in that test tube, we have to take 10 ml of dilute HCl. What is that? Dilute HCl. So here, and in that we have to drop some zinc granules. Zinc granules we have to drop it. And here there is some stopper rubber cork is there. For that, some slit is there. From that, we have to attach one delivery tube. One delivery tube we have to attach. So that should be, the delivery tube must be kept in a trough. So this entire is solution. Some soap solution is there. Then here we may observe that some bubbles are formed. So here, if you can keep a burning matchstick, so this is the experimental arrangement. What I told you, when acid reacts with the metal, then it can produce the salt and hydrogen. Clear? So we want to conduct one activity. In that activity, what are the apparatus? This is the retard stand, and this is what? Test tube. Now this is a retard stand, and this one is test tube, and these are the zinc granules. So zinc granules, nothing but pieces of zinc, and this is what? Delivery tube, and this is what? Some trough, and it is some soap solution. So here I am showing the reaction between the zinc and HCl. That should be like this. HCl plus zinc that again forms the ZnCl2 plus H2. Clear? So here it is not balanced equation now. This is now balanced equation. So HCl aqueous and zinc solid, and this is the aqueous, and now this is gas. Clear, children? What I told you, when acid can react with the metal, what we get? Salt and hydrogen. Salt and hydrogen, children. So in case of this, when HCl reacts with the zinc, what do we get? ZnCl2 plus H2. In our examination point of view, 10th class examination point of view, so the diagram is most important. So sometimes the diagram must be incomplete, and they ask to us complete the diagram. That's the one type of questioning. And second type of questioning is, he will give the diagram and we have to label it. That is second one. And third one, 4 marks question. In case of reaction of acids with metal, in that experiment, how many are what are the apparatus? What are the apparatus, or how many apparatus are used in reaction of acids of metal? Draw the diagram and label them. That's the 4 marks. That's why most important topic is. So diagram is very important, and labeling also so important, and we have to remind the apparatus also. Yes. Sometimes they will ask like that, directly write the experimental procedure of when acids are react with the metals. Then directly you go for direct question. That is the direct question. In CC pattern, the question framing is different. Clear? So we have to think the same concept, but the way of asking questions is so different. That's why, children, so for this question, for example, for this only I am telling 4 types of question. First thing is, draw the diagram for the experiment when the HCl is reacts with the metals. First question. And after the second question, diagram will be there in the question paper, and label the parts. Second question. And third question, and if the diagram is incomplete, complete the diagram and label the parts. And that is the question. And write the number of apparatus required in an experiment when acids are reacts with the metal in an experiment. So explain them with a neat diagram. That is the 4 marks question. That's why here the concept is same, but the way of questioning is different. That's why you have to focus the every diagram and every concept very clearly. In CC pattern of once in olden days, there is one question, you have to prepare one answer, that will only come to the examination, you will attempt that only. Clear? That's why you have to focus on every diagram very clearly. So here, children, what is the reaction? HCl plus Zn gives rise to ZnCl2 plus H2. So here gas is liberated. What's that? Gas is liberated. So what is general equation? Acid plus metal gives rise to salt. So here now ZnCl2 is what? Salt. Salt of that particular metal. And this is now hydrogen. So here now, what are the apparatus? The apparatus was retired stand, test tube, and this is the slit rubber cork, and this is the delivery tube, and this is the trough, and this is the matchstick, burning matchstick, and this is the dilute HCl, and these are the zinc granules. Clear, children? Now the experimental procedure. Experimental procedure. What's that? First we have to take the 10 ml of dilute HCl. Dilute means aqueous. So concentration is less. So aqueous solution we are taken, the concentration of HCl is less. In that test tube what you have take 10 ml of dilute HCl. After that we have to add few zinc granules. So granules means nothing but foils, small piece of zinc metal. Those should be dropped into that test tube. After that, immediately you have to close the test tube with a rubber cork. In that rubber cork, the slit is there. So here from that slit you have to attach the delivery tube, and the other end should be taken into the one trough. That should be having some another soap solution. And after that, what you have to say, the another end must be inside the solution. So this is the experimental arrangement. So here after some time, if you can take a burning mastic, that should be just keep above the delivery tube. That should be put off with a pop sound, pop. So that means here after some time we are taking some HCl in the dilute. HCl we are taken, that's in a test tube, and we have added some zinc granules and closed immediately. Already derivative attached in this like this. Then what you observed, after some time we are taking some mastic that should be placed just above the delivery tube. Then what you observed, that should be put off by making a pop sound. Here the question is, why the mastic is put off by making pop sound means, that means there is some gas is released. That gas is released, and the nature of the gas is nothing but here hydrogen. If the oxygen is liberated, that should be again burns very brightly, more than intensity. So that's why here what you have to say, how we can, if anybody can ask you in the question paper, how we can identify that some gas is liberated when the acid is reacting with the metal. Then what you have to say, answer is, if you have bring a burning mastic nearer to the above of the delivery tube, what we observe, then the mastic should be burned, or it should be burning mastic should be put off by making some pop sound. That means that some gas is liberated. The nature of gas is here what it is, H2. So here in absence of mastic, how we can find out some gas is liberated? That means here simply here the bubble in the solution, the bubbles are formed, the air bubbles are formed. Due to that only we can identify that some gas is liberated. So that gas is what we here, that is the H2. So children, this is the activity between the metal and acid. So children, what is the conclusion? When acids are reacts with the metal, they can form their salts. Along with the salts, some gases, hydrogen gas is liberated. Children, so here now next thing is here, if we can perform same thing with the base, I mean the same metal zinc should be, we are doing the same activity with base, then the reaction should be like this: NaOH plus Zn gives rise Na2ZNO2, sodium zincate plus H2. So now this is the balanced equation. So this is what we call sodium zincate. If here NaOH is the base, so here in case of HCl plus Zn gives rise ZnCl2 plus H2. Here gas is, here water is 2HCl. In case of acids, they can produce in case of metals, they can produce with the acids their salts and gas. In this case also, base material like base substance NaOH can produce the salt and hydrogen. So but it is not applicable to for every base. So it is different. In case of acids, all metals can produce the H2 and the salts, but in case of bases, it is applicable for the NaOH. So it is not exactly for the other bases. So children, this is about the reaction of acids with metals and bases with metal. So what is the conclusion? Acids can produce the salt and hydrogen when they react with the metals, but in case of bases, for few bases only they can form the salt and hydrogen, but it is not exactly for all bases. So this is the children difference between a base and acids with reaction of the metals. Children, so I hope you understand. So we will do this one in class also, lab also. So before going to that, this is about the simply exponent arrangement, the most important question, children. So kindly watch and subscribe my channel for latest updates. We will meet in the next video with next topic. See you children. Bye.